the dodo, 43-pound cat goes on inspirational weight loss journey. No freaking way. What the heck? I got these two trailers I want to watch first. Screw it. Let's watch the cat.
When he was surrendered to the shelter, he weighed 43 pounds. I was just so shocked.
Oh my
I remember
god, the
thinking,
cat's so
is
big.
this the heaviest cat in the world?
It's so big.
I immediately volunteered to foster Biggie. I just couldn't imagine how hard having that extra weight was on his body.
Sir.
So we got started right away and we got him on a weight loss plan. We can do this.
Oh man.
Helping Biggie shed pounds has always been my priority. He's made great strides already, and although his weight loss journey isn't over, he's now at a healthier weight. So I'm excited for him to start eating IAM's Healthy Weight dry food for cats. It helps overweight cats like Biggie lose excess weight
known
over
this was an
time
ad.
and can help him keep fit, playful, and active with its high-protein chicken recipe. Honestly, it's hard to believe where we started. When we took him to the vet, he just
he's
had
as big
some
as the
arthritis,
bag.
but no other health complications. We were very, very lucky. The vet told us at his weight, he's at a big risk. He needed to lose weight as fast as possible, but as safe as possible. Our vet recommended we start at around 500 calories for him, which is kind of mind-blowing because the average cat is a little over 100 calories a day, but it was still less than what he had been eating normally.
Wait, 100 calories a day for a cat? That's insane.
No.
He would rock his food bowl when he was hungry, which was all the time. Because of his weight and his lack of mobility, he couldn't groom, so his fur was not in the greatest condition. We had to give him a lot of baths.
Come here, Biggie. Come on, don't be ashamed. It's okay.
They can't
Friday,
say no.
We would do his weigh-ins, and we would call it Weigh-In Friday. His first weigh-in, he already lost a pound. I was so excited because it showed us that we may actually see him become a cat again.
It's the same reason why they shouldn't have children.
The next week, he could walk a few steps, but he would be completely exerted. He would have to lie down, catch his breath before he would even move again. So we really had to be cognizant about how much we encouraged him to move. We're just focused on getting him to make those simple movements. He had to work for every bite. But in that second week, he lost another half a pound. We had our momentum going, and the first month we were rocking it. It seemed like he was doing great, and he was averaging like a half a pound a week.
Oh boy.
That second month, he started to become a little bit more mobile. He started to groom.
Biggie, you ready? Sit up.
Biggie.
All
He called
of
him
those
Biggie.
little things that you take for granted that a cat can do, he slowly started doing those things as the weeks went by. We started incorporating more play-based activities. So 2 minutes started becoming 3 minutes. He was taking longer strides.
Look at that.
He started going down the stairs, but he couldn't get back up the stairs.
Well, if you get down, you've got to come back up. Come on.
So multiple times a day, I have to carry his chonky butt all the way up the stairs. There you go.
Boiled, dude.
By 3 months in, we really started seeing his personality come out. We started adjusting his calories.
Why are you so sassy today, Biggie?
Kind of like humans, Biggie got hangry. He started begging for food.
You've already gotten breakfast and all your snacks.
That's when we started to have to really keep an eye on him. It just astonished me with how crafty he was. There was 1 week where he had a pretty significant gain, and we found out he was stealing food from the other cats.
Oh,
Sir.
dude.
Did you do this?
He also was able to get into our pantry, so we started putting child locks on everything. Over time, he seemed more energized, more willing to play and have fun. And as the days went on, he actually started enjoying
They're just like
movement.
little kids, man.
We've done things from children's ball pits into like more agility courses with Biggie. Whatever he's interested in, we're just gonna take that and run with it and get the most that we can out of him. 7 months in, he was able to finally walk up the stairs.
Come on. Yay,
Yo, good job.
He honestly felt he can do anything if we just continue on the path that we're on. Good job, Biggs. Biggie now can do 2 15-minute sessions a day. As his journey evolved, we started getting contacted by lots of people who had cats like Biggie. And I learned that over 60% of domestic pets are overweight, cats especially. So we thought, why not create a space that can have more big cats and help
Why do I
them
feel like
on
that's
their
only
journeys
American
of weight
cats?
loss, so they're not at risk of euthanasia. We give these chonky cats a second chance at adoption.
How you doing, sweetie?
So that's where the Big House Sanctuary was born.
Excuse me, sir.
So it's been a year since Biggie's been in our care, and the journey has been incredible.
Oh, hello. Biggie, 28 Bigs. Good job, buddy.
He's lost 15
Okay.
pounds, and I honestly didn't think we would be
I'll go down a
here.
little bit.
Now he actually looks like a cat. I just couldn't imagine him anywhere else.
He looked like a
He's
cat
become
before.
part of our family, so we
was just big.
officially adopted him. And we thought it was a great time to have a little potty for him and all of his little friends. We set up a little gotcha day event for him to celebrate everything he's done. The fact that he's lost more than an entire regular cat in weight is awesome. He changed the trajectory of our life. It means so much to give him the opportunity to be who he was meant to
Oh,
be.
it wasn't even their cat. They
Just
adopted
seeing
it.
him
They
be
adopted the
that
cat.
makes my heart so happy and so fulfilled.
That's pretty cool. That's crazy. That is crazy how kids or cats would get that big. Bubbly Puppy decides she's ready to live in the world. Did I? That dog looks kind of... Oh, let's do it.
I brought her into my nursery at home where we have like oxygen bubble. Sally came to me from a breeder that couldn't take care of her any longer. She's got really bad pneumonia. She probably aspirated while nursing on mom, and she was blue, like she was gasping for air. I immediately put her inside of that bubble and let her just calm down with oxygen at first.
But a humidifier?
And maybe after about 30 minutes of her being in there, her color changed. She was back to pink, but you could still see that she was struggling to actually intake enough oxygen.
Oh, what the heck's wrong with it?
She was completely oxygen dependent. We couldn't take her out of the oxygen chamber at all. She was just our little bubble girl.
4 days
The
later.
plan was for us to keep her in our
Oh, it
nursery
looks so
until
sad.
she was at a stable point to where she was adopted. I thought it was gonna be like maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks on oxygen to let the lungs heal, and that was not the case for Sally. Even though she was struggling and having increased respiratory in the bubble, she was wagging her tail, she was licking the window of the oxygen chambers.
Aw.
We really wanted it to be a different outcome, and so we were fighting for her. We couldn't even go in there and like love on her because the second we would unzip it, all the oxygen would come out. We needed to make sure that her bubble was like very comfortable for her. We fill our bubbles up with a ton of blanket. She loved her stuffed animals.
And
As she grew,
a little.
she became more playful.
You're a bad girl. You're a bad girl.
So she could see out, and you could tell she would always be watching you because wherever we were, we brought her bubble so that she could like see what we were doing. Then one day she started like pawing to come out. And so I kind of unzipped it to see what she would do. And she just walked out. She was just kind of like looking around like, oh wow, there's like something outside of my bubble. But then quickly realized she couldn't breathe. So I had to put her back into the bubble. But that didn't stop her from wanting to continue to try. We would try every
Dude,
day.
that's crazy.
We'd take her out
That-
of the bubble.
that thing
let
in her
walk around
nose?
the floor, and usually within like a minute, she would be gasping for air. So we would put her back into the bubble.
Was it good? You have the best? Oh, is it comfy?
And we'd zip her back up and let her calm down, and then she'd be fine again. The doctors told us just to keep strengthening her lungs. So we would do that every day. Take her out. Put her back in. Over
That's
weeks, we
crazy.
extended that period of her being out of oxygen by just like 30 seconds to a minute.
Hi, girl.
as she was growing, she was getting too big for this chamber that we have. So we had to like get creative and build her a larger enclosure. We built out of our plexiglass kennel, and we made it to where it would still have adequate oxygen flow, and it was big enough for her to like run around in.
Like a glass crib.
She could now exercise her lungs in oxygen without just sitting in one little chamber. It was big enough for us to like climb in, play with her, and she would light up when we would go in there with her. She would come out. She would know when she needed to go back into the oxygen chamber.
That's cool.
So once we got to the point where she was out for like 5 minutes, we started trying to take her outside in the grass because she had only ever touched
Probably
inside.
the first time she's seen the sun.
She's like, oh my gosh, this is a whole new world again.
This is grass, real grass.
She didn't do very well outside, and she was just like, okay, whoa, my lungs.
Oh.
So I put her back inside. So we would try that again every now and then. She seemed to like the grass. Eventually she started running through the grass. So we would open the door up and let her run around on the floor. And come back out. And then she got
She was just
slowly
waiting.
to the point where she was spending more time out of the bubble than in.
20 minutes, dude.
One day, she just didn't want to go back in the bubble.
You got used to it, man.
She was playing, I would say like 30 minutes passed by, and I was like, okay, she's still out of the bubble. I don't know what's going on, and she's not struggling. And I was just waiting for her to run back to the bubble, and she never did. Then I started getting nervous. She was fine, but I was like, okay, I need to put her back in the bubble. And before I could even close the door, she had whipped around and tried to come back out. So we tried almost all day long to put her back into the bubble, and she would not go. And so she chose that day to no longer be there. After we got to that point where she was staying out of the bubble, we talked about her was adopted by one of my coworkers. Bonnie, she's also a technician. We both work together, so I would come with Sally in this big oxygen chamber every day to work. We would travel back and forth, and so she got to see the whole process. From the very beginning, we knew she was going to adopt her.
She was just an angel.
When Bonnie took her, we knew that she was at a stable point.
I set her up in this living room. She got introduced to all the dogs here.
It's Miss Sally, learning bad manners from the other crew.
And the kids loved her.
Wait, she has hella dogs?
Her true spirit came out.
Sally, no. No, Sally. No.
Oh, hell no.
Sally, no.
We didn't know how long she could be out on oxygen. Do we need to rush her back into her bubble?
She's gone.
She didn't need it. She knew her limits as well. So she would come in here, she would play with the other dogs, and then I had a little bed for her with a blanket, and she would run to her bed and put herself in timeout.
Here, Sally. You gonna go for a walk? Yeah. I know, you're so excited.
Hella
Our
excited.
goal is to kind of have her live her life. There's a lot of stuff she missed out on in the bubble, especially when she was younger. So we're going to start off taking her to go experience, just kind of being out in the wilderness. We haven't had the opportunity to take her to a dog park, and so it'd be nice to see how she interacts.
She'll start slowing down. She's getting tired.
You have to bring the bubble with you? Just in case, right?
Yeah, this is probably the longest she's walked. But normally she starts to slow down. She's doing good.
Getting stronger like every day.
We're going to take her camping soon. One of the biggest things is trying to get her accustomed to being around water and running water, and she absolutely hates the water. And we kind of have to let her set her own pace.
Are you ready to go swimming? What do you think?
A little scared. I'd be too, shoot.
Am I gonna rescue you?
Oh,
She's getting there. She didn't jump out immediately, which is good. Yeah. You ready to drive? Ready for a treat?
It's her first time going to a store to go pick out a toy. Or
Hello, pretty baby. How are you?
Oh, yeah.
You like that?
You want to see the purple dinosaur? I see it looking. I see it looking.
wanking out.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm gonna go back. Lina, it was inside the shelf.
Is this it? Is this your toy? Is this your toy? Yeah.
It doesn't spoil.
Yeah. She's so cute. Your toy, yes. Exciting, yeah.
And then, of course, outdoor dining. We want her to be active, and there'll probably be some other puppies there, and she gets to meet them as well.
Best friends, Nana. I have best friends, so that's no good.
I get to see too many puppy ones. Did you have a good day? Yes. I know, pretty girl.
To see her where she is now is like the best feeling in the world. And that is why we fight so hard for these babies. And I'm so glad that we did, because now she's like a healthy puppy and she gets to live the rest of her life within an amazing family. And now I get to see her at work and we get to, you know, watch her grow.
You just help roaming. You just help roaming.
Dang. Just think about that. She's swimming now. And originally, she had to be in a bubble. That's some crazy turnaround.
When he was surrendered to the shelter,
That was freaking awesome. That was freaking awesome. I'm getting recommended all this now, too. Adorable moment when they finally find their voice.
No bite.
Oakley, come here. Come here.
Sylvain.
Oh, that was scary.
Can I brush you?
It is bedtime. Let's go.
Dude, huskies are hella crazy. The hell? What? Oh, that was cute.
It's not time for the bath. Get out.
Bang! Oh no, Haji! What happened, buddy?
What the heck? I don't know, that's a backpack. That was. Huskies are really, really hard to train too.